Good evening, everyone. I'm sharing the screen. So is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. So, first of all, I would like to ask you all that have you revised whatever we studied in the last lecture, till the last lecture? Yes or no? Yes or no? No, ma'am. Why, Bharti? So nobody has revised whatever we had learned. Meghna, Arya, Chaitanya, Janvi, Falguni. Nobody?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Okay, no problem. See, revising is very important. If you'll not revise, like you can revise today also, that is not a problem. But if you have, you will have to revise. Otherwise, it will be a huge problem for you because a lot of things are, you have to remember a lot of things. And if you remember them, try to remember them at the particular date when we are reading it or studying it, then it will be easy for you. Okay. So, what I was saying. I gave a homework question yesterday, I suppose. I think this was it. The equation was given, that of a circle, I think. X square plus y square is equals to 9. And h comma k point was given, which was shifted origin. So what will be the value? Sorry, what will be the equation, new equation? So anybody got the answer? They can just type it or they can just tell me. Anybody got the answer? You will have to say something, yeah? How will I get to know that what is happening? Yes, no, or there is some doubt or something, tell something. Am I audible? Hello? Am I audible, people?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
So why are you not responding? Yes, no, say something. So I am asking, have you done the homework question that I gave yesterday?
They are telling you on chat, I think.
Yes, ma'am. Only one is telling, sir. Nobody else is responding.
Students, please respond. Otherwise, ma'am will discontinue the class. Please respond.
If you'll say no, I'll not scold you. Now you can tell.
Ma'am,
Hmm?
the answer was x square plus y square plus 10x minus 4y plus 20 is equals to 0.
Perfect. Perfect. It's very right. Very correct. Good. Very good. And we have a chat also? Yes. Okay. Good. So try to respond. You can say yes, no, or whatever. I will not scold you. Do I look a teacher who will scold you for not doing the homework? Definitely you have to do the homework. But even if you haven't done it, you can do it today. There's no problem. at least respond, because I think that either I'm not audible or I'm not able to convey my message to you. So just respond yes or no or something. At least text. That is not a problem. Okay. So let us do this question for the people who haven't done or who tried, but they were in confusion or something. So capital X square and capital Y square were given to us. So definitely, sorry. Oh, this mistake I made yesterday also. Small ones were given, and we have to find out new equation. So small are given, and h comma k, which means the origin, 5 comma minus 2. It is also given. So now we have to find a new equation, right? So we have to basically find out the value of capital X and capital Y. So we can find it by, like, see, here we have to find out the value of X and Y, capital ones, but here we have in the existing equation small ones. So why not find small only? Why are we troubling ourselves? We will have to rearrange it. Let us take it out in the form of small only. So it will be something like this. This one is small y, capital Y minus 2, right? So this and this are the expressions. Now we'll put these in this particular equation to get the new equation now. X plus 5 whole square plus y minus 2 whole square is equals to 9, right? X square plus 25 plus 10x plus y square plus 4 minus 4y, 9. So when we'll solve it, we'll get what I think somebody said. I don't remember the name. Y is x square plus y square, capital ones, plus 10x minus 4y plus 20 is equals to 0. So this equation will get converted into this one when the origin will be shifted from 0, 0.2 h comma k, which in this case is 5 comma minus 2, right? So this is the answer. Anybody has got any problem till here, they can ask. And I want yes or no from somebody, at least from 2-3 people, I suppose. Yes or no, you have any problem here?
No, ma'am.
Okay. No, ma'am. Okay, fine, Varti. So can we move ahead now? We can move ahead if you haven't any problem. Okay. Let us move ahead. So I have slight things to tell you today. So that is why one thing that tan thing that I skipped in the previous class, I wasn't able to see it. I really wasn't able to. So I'll tell you that, and some extra questions that like previous year questions and all. I'll tell you that in the next class. Till then, our all concepts will be covered. You will revise all of these. I will provide you homework questions also in the form of doc. Gaurav sir will share it. So you have to do that, and you have to revise all the concepts that we have learned in these 3 classes. Then you have to try the homework questions, do as much as possible, and uh, after doing this all, whenever we'll have the next class after this, we'll discuss some questions, homework questions first of all, the tan thing, that one thing that was remaining, and the questions that we have in your previous year question papers. So for now, for this class, we are discussing the rest of the concepts which are remaining, so that in by today's class, our all conceptual things will be over. Then we'll focus on the questions, right? And please forgive me for that tan thing. I really didn't got time. Like I was thinking to find out about it, but I really forgot today, and then class time came up, so I wasn't able to find it. Okay, so till last in the last class, the last thing that we discussed was, even if we draw a wrong diagram or wrong figure by our conception in our mind, but we can definitely find the right equation through it. There is no problem in finding the right equation, and according to that right equation, we may find how should the actual figure look like, right? So, was there any doubt in the previous class to anybody? Like, if anyone wants to ask, they can ask. Till the previous class, anybody, if they had some doubt. Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So we can move ahead now. It's already 7:19. Okay. So let us complete it today. Look, we know a very basic thing, that what is the general, this is not a question, this is just a sort of, you can make a star note and write it. See, we know what is the general equation of a straight line. When it comes to the general equation or general form, we can also say form here, it is one only. There is no other general form. There is only one general form, which is ax plus by plus c is equals to 0. Right? This is the general form of a straight line. Right? Now, if this is the general form, so how we can find out the value of, or, okay. See, this is the general equation of a straight line, but this is not of our use till the time we are finding something from it. Which one is the most useful form of the line? It is y is equals to mx plus c. This is the most desirable form. This is the general form. Now, how can we convert this one into this form? Because this is the one which we generally desire. This is not the one that is, desirable. This is the general form, but we have to convert it in such a way that we get this. So how we do this? We definitely see that y is here alone. So definitely we have to keep y here alone, and whatever things are remaining, we'll take it on the other side. So let's do this. By, keeping by here only, because you can see in the LHS we want y, right? So we'll keep by here, minus ax minus c, they'll go that side, so negative sign will come, and y is equals to, like if I write it whole, so it will be divided, b will come into division, and if I'll write this separately, so very simple, I'm just writing it in the form that I want, right? Y is equals to mx plus c. Why have I written it like plus, minus, and minus? Because I wanted to write it in this form. This is the very desirable form that I want. So basically, I'm converting this general form into this desirable form, right? What is this? The slope, what do we call it? The slope intercept form, right? So what have I done? I simply have arranged it slightly, and I have converted it into this form, where it gives y is equals to minus a by b x plus minus c by b. Till here, anybody has got some doubt, or is it clear till here? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Now, moving ahead. What is that useful information that this particular form conveys? Very important. See, we know that this is y. This is y, there is no problem. Okay. X is there, no issues. C, the what do we call it? Y-intercept here particularly. This is it. It's also fine. The most important conclusion that we get from here, or the most important thing that we get from here, information is, what is the value of m? What is the value of slope? It is the most important thing that we get from here. And according to this, if we compare this m, the coefficient of x here, and the coefficient of x here, we will get to know that m is equals to minus a by b. Right? General form, and we're combining these two forms. When we combine these two forms, we'll get to know that the slope can be written as this also. So from here, we get a useful information. You can just like do a star note or something, and you can write m is equals to negative of coefficient of x divided by coefficient of y. Now, definitely, which coefficient and what we are talking about here? We are talking about this one. In this equation, general form of equation, the coefficient of x is a and the coefficient of y is b. Thus, we have written that by chance, see, if this form is available to us, then definitely it is very easy to find out the slope. Very easy. But by chance, this form is given to us, and we don't have to waste our time much in converting this first of all, then finding this expression, right? It will always come this minus a by b. So basically, what is it? It is the minus negative of coefficient of x divided by the coefficient of y. So simply by just applying this thing, we can find out the slope of a line of which the general equation is given and not the slope intercept form. So this conversion is done just to tell you that this relation exists. You can use it directly, right? So this equation, this one is very important because it saves your time. You have to do this. You will definitely come to know this. Like you'll get till here, you'll reach till here, then you will get to this conclusion. But why are we doing this again and again when we have the exact formula with us, right? So this is the thing that we can apply. So quickly, let's do one question here so that it gets clear in our heads. 2y plus 3x plus 4. Now don't get confused whether it is small x or capital X. It doesn't matter because we have only one here. So you may write small ones, capital ones, it doesn't matter. So 2y plus 3x plus 4 is equals to 0, right? Now we have to find the m or the slope, right?
It's 2 by 2.
Correct. Huh? Sorry.
Minus 3 by 2.
Minus 3 by 2.
Minus
Right.
3 by 2.
Minus 3 by 2. Correct.
Sorry. Minus 3 by 2.
Right. That is why it is written like a sort of like aage piche, because just to confuse us slightly. So here, instead of finding out this whole thing, we can know that we have to do the negative of coefficient of x, which is 3, divided by the coefficient of y, which is 2, right? So we get the m quickly, like in seconds, instead of finding out this relation first of all, then doing all, right? So this is the way we can do. Next, one more question is there where we have the equation of line is 4x plus 2y plus 1 is equal to 0. So what will be m? Quickly.
Minus 2.
Correct. Very good. Minus 2, right? Minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of y. So we get minus 2. Correct? Okay. So here we got to know that whenever there is a definitely relationship between the general form and the desirable form, and if we have to find out the value of slope, then we can definitely use this conversion method and we can get our answer in seconds instead of taking minutes, right? So this is the thing that was there. Now we'll start like that thing, origin thing, shifting of the origin is done. And I think that I don't think that anybody will have a problem in that, because it is only one thing is there to be noted, that how we'll find out the value of x, capital X or capital small x. If we'll know this, we can do the questions, right? And after that, we saw some things, some different sort of questions and some slope things. So except the tan thing, I suppose that everything must be clear. Moving ahead, another very, very important concept. Angle between, so this BYW, this is between And I'm very habitual of writing between like this because in 12th I was writing it like for the whole year. Okay, so angle between two lines, right? Now everybody will look at the screen, not on my screen, not on my video, the screen, and they will understand what it is. And then I'll give you all time, like 2-3 minutes to note down it. So don't try to copy with me, just try to understand. So copy and pens down, just look here. Now, angle between two lines. We have two axes, Cartesian plane. We have two lines, straight lines, mind you, and I'm not going to draw them straight, as you know, but we'll try to just, oh, okay. Now, these are two lines. The first one, and you have to keep in mind that it is like this, anti-clockwise, with respect to this positive x-axis, right? So we are considering this angle with respect to the positive x-axis, and this angle is theta 1, right? Secondly, this angle which this line is making with respect to the positive x-axis is theta 2, right? This one is theta 1, this is theta 2. Now, which angle is remaining? The angle between these two lines, So let me change the color just for the convenience. Now, this particular one, this is the angle between these two lines, right? So let us suppose it to be theta, right? We have taken theta 1, theta 2. So let us take this theta, right? And this is a line which is making angle theta 1 with respect to the positive x-axis. This is making theta 2 with respect to the positive x-axis. And the angle between these two is theta, right? The equation of this line, we can definitely write the equation in any form. But the most desirable one, the most useful one is this. Y is equals to mx plus c. Now, what is the problem here that we have? Obviously, if the slope which this line is making, it is different. Like theta 1 is different from theta 2. It is very visible that theta 1 will be less than theta 2. So if theta will vary, so tan theta will also vary, which means the slope will also vary. So this particular thing will have different value. The slope will have different value, and also the intercept, like the intercept which it will make with the y-axis. Y-intercept, for example, if you will see, when we'll extend it further, it will make this intercept, this particular line, right? And if we just try to extend it further, so this particular line will make some different intercept. So basically, keeping y and x constant, or as it is, we will have different values for slope and intercept, right? Similarly, here, what will be the equation of this line? It will be m2x plus c2. So, till here, is it clear that this positive x-axis is there? These two lines are making theta 1, theta 2 angle respectively with respect to this positive line. Angle theta is between these two lines, right? Angle between the two lines is theta. And the equations are these because the slope and intercept will vary. So, till here, is it clear to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. Now, somebody quickly tell me that what is the value of theta in terms of theta 2 and theta 1. How can I write theta?
Theta 2 minus theta 1.
Theta 2 minus theta 1.
Correct. Very good. Theta 2 minus theta 1 will be equal to theta. Cool. So, I usually have, the requirement of tan theta because I have to find the slope, right? So, I do not have to do anything with theta alone. I have to make it tan theta because we have seen that we make use of tan theta instead of theta. So I'm just writing it in terms of tan so that this will convert into slope, right? I don't think there will be a problem in this. Now, oh, sorry. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I made a mistake. This will not be written as this. There will not be separate theta for it. We are just applying theta tangent here at the both ends. So it will be like this. Sorry. Okay. Tan theta will be equal to tan of theta 2 minus theta 1. Right? So when we are applying the tangent, it will be like this. Now, there is a formula of this one. Particular this thing, tan x minus y, or you can take it in any way, but yeah, we have a formula for this. And what is it? It is tan theta 2 minus tan theta 1 divided by 1 plus tan theta 1 tan theta 2. Now it doesn't matter what is there in the places of theta 1, theta 2. It can be anything. It can be a constant variable, anything. But the formula remains the same. Tan this entity minus tan of this entity divided by 1 plus tan of both in product, right? So we got to know that, we got to know this. Till here, is there any problem? Till here, we just applied this formula. Anybody has got any problem till here? Yes or no? Okay, so if you aren't saying anything, I suppose that there is no problem. Moving ahead. Tan theta. What is tan theta 2? What is it? How can I write it in terms of m?
M2.
Right. M2 minus M1 plus, sorry, divided by 1 plus M1, M2, right? We have just written what it is. It is a slope. This is the slope of the second one, first one, divided by 1 plus M1, M2. So we got a very interesting thing here. Very interesting thing, that tan theta is equal to the tangent of theta, the tangent of the angle which is between these two lines. It is equals to the slope of the slope of the second line minus the slope of the first line divided by 1 plus the product of these two slopes. So we got to know that whenever we are given like angle between two lines and such thing, then we have to use something like this. So when we are moving in the anti-clockwise direction, like this, right? Anti-clockwise direction when we are moving. So we have to subtract, like this particular thing I'm talking about. In the denominator, it will be as it is. It doesn't matter whether you write 1 plus M1, M2 or 1 plus M2, M1, it doesn't matter, right? Product will be as it is. But in the uppercase, in this numerator part, whenever we are moving from in the anti-clockwise direction, like this, okay? So what happens? That we have to subtract the slope of, मतलब we can say कि बाद वाले में से पहले वाला we have to subtract. बाद वाला कौन सा here? When we are moving like this, so बाद में क्या आएगा? M2 की M1 बाद में, after M2 आएगा, है ना? M2 आएगा और पहले है M1. So बाद वाले में से पहला वाला माइनस करते हैं. We have to subtract the first one, or the previous one from the latter, right? So that is why we have written M2 minus M1, because this will come later, this will come earlier. So we have to subtract from later the earlier. Later M minus the earlier M, when we are moving in anti-clockwise direction. And it doesn't matter in the denominator, it will be as it is only. There is plus, so there will be no problem, right? So बाद वाले में से पहले वाला माइनस करते हैं whenever we move in anti-clockwise direction, right? So we got to know about this. Great. Now I think that you might not have written till here. So if you want to write, I'll give you 1 minute. You can just note down this part, then we'll move forward. And when you're done, just tell me, yes, ma'am, or done, ma'am. So we'll start then.
Written, ma'am.
Okay, cool. Moving ahead. Now, a very interesting thing is coming. Okay, look, very, 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 very important. Don't consider that the axes are here, right? We are just talking about the two lines that I'm drawing. I'm just drawing two lines. Just focus on them. Don't consider whether there is a axis or not. It doesn't matter, right? So I'm drawing two lines. One is this, and one is this, right? Two lines are there. Don't think that this is the y-axis or this is the line which is cutting it. No, they are just two lines. I have randomly drawn two lines. There is no Cartesian plane, right? Talking about the angle. Okay, so this particular line, this line which I had drawn initially, it is, the equation of it is y is equals to m1x plus c1, right? And the equation of this one is y is equals to m2x plus c2, right? We have these two things. Now, what is the angle between them? Just wait for a second. What is the slope of this line? M1, right? Shivang, whenever you unmute yourself, I'm not able to hear you. I saw you unmuting yourself several times for saying yes or something, but I was not able to hear you. So I guessed that you say something like this, yes or no. So
Now
either
is it audible clearly?
yes. Now it is audible. Whenever you say some small thing, no, I am not able to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, so by chance, if you have this problem, so you can just type if you want, because what is the use if I'm not able to hear, right?
Yes.
Okay. I heard the yes. Okay. Here the slope is m1 and here the slope is m2, right? Okay. Now, here the slope is m1, here the slope is m2. Whole line will have the slope, the same slope. This whole line will have the slope m1. It is not that here it will be m1, here it will be something else. No. Whole line, it will go from infinity to infinity, but the slope will remain the same. Tan theta will remain the same. It will not change. Similarly for this part. Now, the angle between these two. Okay. So what is the angle between these two? I know what you're thinking. This one. Correct. So the angle which is between these two lines is, let's suppose alpha. Right? Alpha. So we are not concerned with the alpha or the theta, but or the angle. We are concerned with the tangent of that theta because we have to find the slope. Slope is of a practical use, so we have to find it. So definitely, what will be the value of tan alpha? We know that it will be m2 minus m1 divided by 1 plus m1 m2. No issues. We just read it. All right. Now, is there any other angle between these two lines? Any other angle? Like except alpha, which is different from alpha? Yes, there is. Which one? This one. Beta. Don't you think that this angle is also there? It is between these two lines. No issues. This angle is there, definitely. I'm not denying that this angle is not there, but this angle is also there. We cannot deny its existence. Because see, this line is here, this line is here, it is between these. So it also exists. But what will be its value? Like how we will write it like here. So it will be m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus M1 M2. Now I'm just telling few things, then we'll understand what is happening here. Tan beta is here, right? I just took on my accord, I just wanted to take out minus common. I took out. So we are left with the same thing that we have here. I took minus common, right? So when I took this minus common, this got positive, this got negative, and we got this thing, right? So we got to know that tan theta we have to find. If we have to find the tan theta, we are not talking about alpha or beta. We are talking about theta. Theta is the angle between the two lines. It can be alpha, it can be beta, both. There is no restriction that it will only be alpha or it will only be beta. So if there is no restriction that it should be either of them, it can be both. So that is why we can write it like sometimes somewhere in some book you may find, or somewhere you may find plus minus M2 minus M1 divided by 1 plus M1 M2, because these both of them, alpha and beta, they both exist. Their tangent will exist. So like how we can deny the existence of this positive and this negative part? We cannot we cannot take away their existence. So here it is positive, and here when I took negative, it is the same thing. So we can say that this plus minus will be the sign. It will depend. Now it will depend on what, right? This plus and minus will depend on what? This will remain same. M2 minus M1 divided by 1 plus M2 will remain same. So how we will choose that it will be plus or minus? Very simple. If tan theta will be positive, tan theta will be positive, star mark it. Tan theta would be positive if theta is acute. I'll see you chat in a second, right? And tan theta would be negative, like we'll use this negative sign here if theta is obtuse, right? You can just write it till the time I'm checking it. Okay, Varti, very nice, cool. So we got to know when you write, just I'm revising what I told. Just write it, it is very important. We were given two lines. We know that there is an angle between these two, right? Alpha, and nobody is denying its existence. But we can also not ignore the existence of this angle which is here, right? We cannot ignore its existence. And what is the problem here? That somewhere we are getting the positive part and somewhere we are getting the negative part. So instead of writing positive and negative differently or like separately, we have combined them. So this theta, it can be alpha or beta. There is no specification like which is it. Is it the acute one or it is the obtuse one? And that is why we have put plus minus sign, so that we may be sure that both of them we are considering. Like we are not ignoring any one of them. We are considering the positive as well as the negative, like the alpha and the beta. And whether we'll choose positive or we'll choose negative, it depends totally upon the theta. If it is acute, if the angle lies between 0 to 90 degree, 0 degree to 90 degree, then it will be acute, and then the tan theta will be positive. Then the slope would be positive, as we discussed in the previous class as well. And if the angle is between this, then slope will be negative, right? Like we saw here. So this is acute. We can definitely see it is definitely less than 90 degree. So it will be alpha. And this one is greater than 90 degree. It is very visible. So thus it is obtuse, right? Anybody has got any problem in here, they can just tell me right away. If you are not able to understand or something like that, you can just tell me. Just make sure you put it into a box or something, highlight it somewhere. Clear. Okay, very good. So have you all written it? Can we move forward?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
I got the yes, Shivang, this time. Okay, moving ahead. Let's do a question here, so it will be clear to you. Example, not a question. Again, we are given two lines, random two lines. There is no problem of Cartesian equations and all, the Cartesian plane and all. We are just given two lines. Here is an angle. Okay, let me write the equations of the lines. Y is equals to 3x plus 1 and y is equals to 5x plus 4. Right? 5x plus 4. And this is the equation y is equal to 3x plus 1. So, again, there are two angles. Here, the angle
Ma'am,
is
y is equals to 5x plus what?
5x. Why is it this equation? You're asking this?
No, y is equals to 5x plus what?
Achha, what? 4. I'm writing it again, no issues. Sorry, I'm slightly bad at writing, but I'm writing it again. Y is equals to 5x plus 4. So this is y is equals to 3x plus 1, and this equation is y is equals to 5x plus 4, right? Again, we can see that the angle between these two lines is acute here. And another angle which is very visible is this one, which is definitely obtuse. It is definitely greater than 90 degrees. Now, we have to find the value of tan theta. So let's find. Don't write either plus or minus, because here it is not given that which you have to find. Like, you have to find out that of acute one or obtuse one. So if it is not identical, like if it is not specified in the question which slope you have to find, so you have to write plus minus. Remember it, right? You have to write plus minus both. And okay, if you're writing the plus minus both, so M2 will be
5.
5 minus 3 upon 1 plus 5 into 3, right? So we got 1 upon 8 easily. Sorry, not 1 upon 8, 2 upon 8. 5.
2 upon 16.
Okay, 2 upon 16. So we got 1 upon 8. Okay, plus minus 1 upon 8. So from here, like, we have to find out in this terms with plus and minus intact. But we can definitely say that theta will be equals to tan inverse 1 by 8. We are just taking the tangent there at the opposite side. So we got this. So we will get this positive one when the theta will be acute. Or when the theta will be acute, we'll get this value of theta. And when the theta will be obtuse, then the value will be tan inverse 1 by 8, which here will be minus, right? So in this case, it will be obtuse. So we can mention it, but I don't think in the MCQ they will ask you to mention something. So you have to keep in mind that plus minus should be there. If it is not identified whether you have to find the acute one or the obtuse one, you have to keep in mind that you have to write both of them, both the signs, plus and minus, because it is not specified. So how can you say that you have to take plus or minus, right? But definitely, if this is asked, so you can take the positive one. If obtuse is asked, you can take the negative one. There is no problem in that, right? So tan theta, keeping it intact, if we write tan theta, so it will be the positive value. And here, the tan theta would be the negative value. It will be negative, right? The slope will be positive here, the slope will be negative here. So is this question clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
and have you all written it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. So let us move forward. Now, okay, let us talk about some things. Now, these things that I'm telling you, these are the things that you can just note down. Just try to understand. Don't keep writing. Just try to understand, but you can write along with me because there is no big deal in this. So try to keep understanding. Along with that, you can write also, right? Or you can after I'm completing writing this entire screen, you can just take a screenshot if you wish to write later, and you can write later. There's no issue, but definitely write it. Don't just keep the screenshot in your phone. Okay, various forms. So I'm writing. You can write along with me your issues. There is nothing to understand like majorly because we know this. Okay, various forms. So we know that there is a slope point form where we have a slope m point is also given. So that is known as slope point form, right? So quickly, I'm making the graph. Here again, the axes are there. Here is a line which is making theta angle with respect to the positive x-axis, right? Here's a line. Now, a point x comma y is there. It is not given. It is not known to us. It is just x comma y. And one more point is there, x1 comma y1, whose coordinates are known to us. Like this point we know. We can locate this point. So if I want to find the slope of this line, so simply we know that we have to find the tangent of the theta, which is here, right? This we have to find the tangent of this theta. We discussed it in yesterday's class also. So to find the tangent, we have to find these two distances as I told yesterday too. So it will be x minus x1, right? X minus x1, and this particular one will be y minus y1, y minus y1. Okay. So what will be the value of tangent of theta? It will be perpendicular upon base. So it will be y minus y1 upon x minus x1. We can just rearrange it and write it in the form that the equation of line is there in which. So, okay, writing tan before, just to write clearly, just write tan before. Tan theta, x minus x1. And we know what is tan theta. So basically what equation comes to us in this form, slope point form, y minus y1 is equals to m x minus x1. This is known as the slope point form, where one point, the coordinates of one point and the slope is given to us. So here is the thing that we all know. Just note it down. And what we will do now, we will just take a small example with it so that it will be clear. Just write it down, or just to save time, you can just click a screenshot so that we can move forward because only half an hour is left. Right, so, okay, let me write the question here only, just to save the page. Here is a small example supporting it. This is the angle 45 degree, which the slide is making. Here we have a point at 5, 6, right? 5, 6. Now, what will be the value of m first of all? Because we want to find out the value of m. To find this equation, we have to find the value of m. So it will be tan theta, tan 45, and we all know that tan 45 degree is 1. So m comes out to be 1, right? Keeping this thing in this equation along with the coordinates, what will be the point slope form or the slope point form of this equation of this line? So it will be y minus y1 is equals to 1 x minus 5. So it will be y minus 6 is equals to x minus 5. So we have to keep it in this form. Like definitely. Okay. This is the form that we can see, like here it is the form that we are getting in this form, but definitely the desirable will remain the same as slope intercept form. So it is also correct. This line is perfectly correct. This is exactly this, right? If the slope is 1, definitely it will be this. But the desirable one is this. Slope intercept. Okay? So we are just writing both of them because generally this one is more desirable. So we are writing it in both the forms just to understand. This one is the point slope form where we have the slope, we have the point, and we have x and y. This is the slope intercept form, which is the most desirable one. Okay, so till here everybody has written, and have you all understood till here? Okay, so I think we can move forward because there is nothing to wait for it. We're just brushing up the concepts again and again. Okay, moving forward. 2 points form. Here we are given the 2 coordinates of the 2 forms, like 2 points, and those 2 points are known to us, right? So just graphically showing what it looks like. We are given a line, we are given this theta angle, we are given one point which is x1, y1. We are given another point which is x2, y2, right? And just to find out the slope, because that is the thing that we need. So this angle will be theta, and this particular perpendicular now would be y2 minus y1, and here it will be x2 minus x1, the base. So we have to find the m. It will be y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1.